Elon Musk now owns Twitter, but the investments from Saudi Arabia shouldn't leave you feeling warm and fuzzy. Well, okay, Farron, I saw this, Newsweek, I have almost zero confidence in Newsweek. I mean, zero. It has become nothing more than a polarized propaganda rag. What I hated about this story is they act like this is something new, okay? Saudi Arabia already owned huge interest in Twitter.
They had spies at Twitter.
They had
we talked about that.
Yeah, we did a story on it. Not only they had huge shares in Twitter. So they roll it over to him, to Musk, and Newsweek goes crazy about it. Like, oh, this is something new. It's not anything new. They've been owning part of Twitter.
Right. It's definitely not new, but it certainly is terrifying that, the Saudi Royal Holding Company has $2 billion now invested in Twitter. They are the second largest investor behind Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. And of course, the danger with that, as we have talked about plenty of times, is that Saudi Arabia puts people in jail for their tweets. An American citizen is now in jail in Saudi Arabia for 16 years for criticizing the kingdom on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we can't have these people who will kill you over your tweets having any stake in it. That's the danger.
Okay,
here.
the story we did on this, it was weeks and weeks ago. I don't remember exactly. But part of that story was Twitter knew what was going on.
Yeah.
The folks at Twitter knew that they had Saudi spies that were doing this, and they did nothing about it. And it wasn't Elon Musk. It was the owners before Elon Musk that said, yeah, that's okay because Saudis are giving us so much money. This mutt, the prince, the Saudi prince, who is absolute mutt, a wild bear, they describe him, is a guy that is going to do everything he can to influence the messaging there for $2 billion, just like the government does. We're going to do that story today, just like all these agencies have done with social media. This is a great avenue for the Saudis, isn't it?
It is. And again, I can't stress enough how dangerous this is for the people of Saudi Arabia. Now, I got tons of issues with Musk buying Twitter. Mm-hmm. I don't want the oligarchs out there holding the public town hall. That's dangerous in and of itself. Mm. But having people that will literally kill you for your tweets, that's even more dangerous.
But Farron, do you see the point I'm making? Newsweek acts like this is something new. It's not anything new.
Right.
The Saudis were already in control of Twitter, to where the folks at Twitter knew they had spies, didn't do anything about it, and now this American is in prison for 16 years because of it.
Well, part of the reason this is treated as something new is because the Royal Holding Company came out and bragged about it on Twitter. They put out this big post like, we're now the second. So they're drawing attention to it because now they think, oh, look, we can be open about what we've been doing for years at Twitter. So if they're willing to come out in the open, that, again, super scary because now they feel like we don't have anything to hide.
But is Newsweek suggesting that the folks at Twitter are so damn stupid that they didn't know that the Saudis were already in control of Twitter when they were in charge? You see, you got to call balls and strikes.
Yeah, people don't understand that it's not that they just put the money in.
No,
it's that they already had the investment.
And
they've just rolled it over.
Yeah, and put in a little more. I'm sure they're going to put in more depending on what Elon Musk does. Nearly 3/4 of Americans want to have age limits for politicians. Oh, this to me was such an uplifting story, wasn't it? It was just so great to hear across the demographics. Young people, middle-aged people, old people. They all agree on one thing. The damn politicians are so old that they're senile and they're doing a terrible job. So, pick it up from there.
Yeah, it is great because, again, you've got more than 70% of Democrats, of independents, of Republicans. It's one of the few issues that unites everybody in this country is let's get rid of the aging gerontocracy that has been ruling this country for decades.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Yeah.
And we do need that. I mean, look, you and I have sat here many times talking about this very issue of people like Dianne Feinstein who doesn't know who she's talking to anymore.
That's not, okay, people might think you just made that up. That you didn't.
Right.
There's report after report where Feinstein is talking to somebody she's known her entire life
for decades.
And does not know who she's talking to.
She will stop and introduce herself in the middle of a conversation with somebody she's known for 30 years.
Or whether it's Pelosi or where, I mean, just go down the list. It's for some reason, and I think it has to do with the way the Democratic organization works. It's worse in the Democratic organization. The numbers are much, much worse because it's like the story we just did on Podesta. You just hang on. Yeah, all you got to do is hang on, and we're going to run you for president. Hang on, and you're going to be Secretary of State. It seems to be, well, it's statistically worse with the Democrats. Not to say that the Republicans don't have a bunch of old codgers, but I mean Maxine Waters, Pelosi, Schumer, Feinstein, our president. It goes on. We're talking about people in their 80s.
Yeah.
We're talking about people that are way, way overdue to go home.
Well, exactly. And the Republicans have actually been doing, to their credit, a good job of getting younger people. Like, who are the rising stars in the Republican Party today? Dan Crenshaw, Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene. These are all people who are under middle age.
You might not like them.
Right.
You every day you do a story that exposes them. But your point being is it's long game.
Yeah.
Right? It's long game.
Like with Trump's judicial appointments. He was putting people in their early 30s on the bench. They'll serve for 50 years.
Completely.
But they understand it in a way the Democrats do not.
Yeah, and I mean, when they drill down, it's not that they're just old. They think the people are old, they're senile, they're ineffective, and they're doing this country harm. That's when you read those numbers, that's what we're talking about here, right?
And I agree with them 100%.
Farron, thanks for joining me, okay?
Thank you.
That's all for this week, but all these segments are going to be available this coming week right here on this channel, and you can follow us on Twitter at America's Lawyer. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where we tell you the stories that corporate media won't tell you every week because their advertisers don't allow for it, or their political connections don't allow for it. We'll see you next time.